How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is episode 15 of a Let's Play series on Farming Simulator 25 on the map Riverbend Springs. And when we last left off, we ended up getting Unk's farm all set and ready to go with the oats, and we ended up getting everything planted. We got everything plowed in from the oilseed radish, so we've got all the kind of fertilizer states taken care of. I mean, everything is ready to go over at Unk's farm. And in the background, we basically did the same exact thing for our farm over east side of town. Now, the great thing now is we've got plans to be able to make us a whole TMR operation. We've got the grass field across the street from Unk's farm. We're going to use that to make hay. We've got the big field there at Unk's farm, and that's going to be planted with corn, and we're going to eventually turn that into some chaff once it's grown and is ready to go. And then lastly, we've got the oats that we just planted in the last episode, and we're going to use that to eventually get straw, and then we have all three components to make TMR. It's going to be amazing. It's going to work out very, very well, and the great thing about that oat field is that it's going to be ready to harvest in July, which means that if we turn and burn really, really fast, we'll be able to not only get the oats out and the straw out, we'll be able to then replant, get everything back up and running in that smaller field, and plant some barley in there. So we'll get two products in the same season. It's going to work out very, very nicely at the end of everything, at the end of all of this. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and plant some corn over at the new farm. And it's such a tiny field that we'll just be able to zip right through it and it won't be a big deal. But the whole reason we're doing that is just to pad the corn and chaff that we're going to get out of that field. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and hop in the tractor and head over to the small farm, our farm first, and get that all planted and go from there. Now, unfortunately, JP had to go out of town here recently, so this is going to be just me for a little while until we get him back into town. Now, he did go out to Goldcrest Valley to be able to take a look at some equipment for our new farm. Basically what he did last time, pretty similar to what he did this time. He's out kind of scoping out the online shops and all that stuff, so we're hoping that he'll be able to start scoring some stuff for our farm, because he was able to get some stuff for Unk's farm, and thankfully we're able to use a lot of Unk's equipment like the tractor here, but we're not wanting to depend on him, kind of thing. We want to start branching out. That's the whole reason why we got this farm. It's the whole reason why we got everything up and running. We want to be able to actually, make it on our own. So I'm going to go ahead and cut us out, and cut us back in as soon as we start planting some corn. We'll see you in a while. Alright, so here we are here at the farm. We're just going to pull in here, and what I need to do is I need to unfold the seeder, get it ready for use, just like that. Drop down. Now, whoops, wrong one. Alright, now this linkage here, I don't need this right now, so I'm just going to park this right here by the house. And now, we get connected here. Alright, so now, let's get to planting. This is going to be a real quick planting right here. So here I am putting the finishing touches on this field, getting everything all set and ready to go. Oh, this has been awesome. Got all the fields now planted, they're growing, and we need to set our sights on the next step. So the next step being, we need to get our hands on a roller to be able to make this soil exactly what it needs to be. So let's go ahead and take this back over. Ooh, I need to avoid that tree. There we go. Need to take this back over to the shop, return it, and then need to go ahead and bring back a roller. So I will go ahead and do that. I'll cut us out here and cut us back in as soon as we get back with a roller. We'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so I made it back to the farm here. Gonna go ahead and roll this out just real quick. Alright, now here we go. So yeah, once we get this all rolled out, and then we're going to head back to Unk's farm and get that field all rolled out. Then we're going to set our sights on the grass field across the street that's ready to harvest. So I need to get to work on that. So let's go ahead and put the finishing touches on this field. Won't take long at all. And then right over here. Let's get turned around. Get this last little bit, and then we're going to head over to Unk's farm and start over there. Let's see, one more little spin. And perfect. All right. And now it's time to head over there. I'll see you over there in a little while. Alright, so here we are back at Unk's farm. Let's go ahead and roll out this field, and then we get to set our sights across the street. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Alright, so I am putting the finishing touches on this field. Got every little bit of it done, except for this one outer path. Oh, looking good. I am really excited that this is finally done. All three fields are now operational, planted, and taken care of. Don't have to do anything else until it comes time to harvesting them. So At this point, I need to go ahead and return this roller. After returning it, need to come back to the farm and, yeah, start to mow some more grass. We'll see you in a while. So I'm back at Unk's farm. I got to pick up all the equipment to mow the grass. Let's see. Got the front mower right here. The rear is right next to it. All right. So now, let's go ahead and go across the street and get to work. Get all this grass cut, made into hay, turn around, bale it up, and store it away for a little while. So I was going over to get hooked up to the baler, and Unc starts, trying to flag me down, and I go wandering inside to figure out what he wants, and he was talking to me about how he kind of is thinking about changing some things up. He doesn't want me to actually use the baler anymore. He actually wants me to consider doing something else, and he was kind of running me through some of the ideas he had in his head, and they kind of added up and they made a lot of sense. So I'm going to go ahead and run up to the shop there, and I'm going to sell our baler. I'm going to go ahead and sell it, and I'm going to pick up something in its place. But let's go ahead and head over to that shop, and we'll get his plan underway. Hopefully everything will work out, but I think in the end that it'll be really, really nice, because it's going to open the door to a few more options available to us. So I'll go ahead and cut us out here, and I'll cut us back in once we get the equipment we need. See you in a little bit. Alright, so I am back with this nice little forage wagon right here. We think this will actually work out very nicely for what we have planned. It's kind of a new thing that we're kind of been humming and hawing about for a while now. At least Unc has. Me, I'm not 100% sold on this, but I think that he does make some good points. So at bare minimum, I wanted to give it a try and give it a fair shake here before, just kind of writing it off and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's his farm, it's his equipment, so he kind of tells me what he wants, and I will give him my honest feedback and opinion as to how I think it'll kind of work around here. But it's going to be completely up to him whether or not he wants to listen to anything I'm saying. But at this point, we're kind of in the try it phase. But not only that, we need to first collect all this stuff, and then we need to move on to kind of part 2 of the try it phase. So let's go ahead and just pick up a full trailer full here. Get all this picked up off the ground and figure out how this is going to work from this point. Alright, well now we got a full trailer. Let's take this across the street here. So this is going to be our kind of part 2 to the try it phase. So what I've got here is the forage wagon, as you can see, and across the street over here hooked up to the John Deere, we have this. We have the Gavile baler. We ended up selling our fast baler and getting this. Now, the reason that Uncle thinks that this is going to be kind of the future for us here on his farm is that not only is this going to make, our regular bales, our hay and all this stuff, but when it comes time to make our silage bales, we'll be able to put chaff directly into this and turn it into silage. So it's just one of those where he thinks, and I tend to agree, that it's going to end up working out pretty good. There it goes. There's our first bale. Pops that out. Kicks it over. Perfect. So we should be able to just keep on emptying this out. Now the only problem that I can see with this is we're gonna have to figure out how to organize this a little bit better. Maybe even get another tractor at some point to be able to just specifically hook up to this. Maybe even get some kind of generator or something that we can just hook directly up to this, because right now there's kind of no good way of going about this. But like I mentioned, the kind of thought behind this is that we're now going to be able to take our bales and make chaff bales, make TMR bales. I mean, we'll be able to bale pretty much everything that we have here, but that's, at the end, that's going to be like the ultimate goal, is to be able to come up with the TMR bales so we can do some good long-term storage. Ooh, I need to... There we go. All right. Okay. So there we go. Just going to keep going in and out until we get everything all situated and be good to go. So I'll go ahead and cut us out here and cut us back in once all this is, well, I don't want to say complete, but, certainly further along what we are now, because... Back up to power, and there we go. We just got to keep on chugging away. We got another bale. All right, well, thankfully I leased out all the equipment, and turns out that Unc and I really didn't think things through, because we have this forage pickup right here that we can utilize and be able to throw into a trailer. The problem is that this swivel axle trailer has got to go. This thing is just a royal pain in the neck, and if I have to try and back this up every single time to unload it, then it will be an absolute nightmare. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this off, buy a new trailer with a just regular straight axle, and go from there. So I'll cut us out here, cut us back in once we get it. We'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so I am back from the shop, and as you can see, I have got me a brand new trailer, and this thing is going to be really, really nice. So Uncle and I have been discussing about what kind of trailer we want to get, and it was a little bit more money, and it has a little bit less capacity, but we both agreed that this thing has a nice little party trick that most trailers do not have, and it is this. Check that out. This thing can be lifted up into the air, and I can load into various other bits of equipment using this specific trailer. So if I have a seeder out in the middle of the field and it runs out of seeds, well, then here you go. I can load up with some seeds, just go run this out and be good to go. So this thing is going to be extremely useful going forward. Let's go ahead and lower this down, open this up, turn this on, and there we go. So now we ought to be able to load this up. Now the great thing about doing it this way as well is you can see I am going much, much faster than I was with the forage wagon. The forage wagon, I think I was going about maybe 10, 11 miles an hour, and this is giving me an extra 3 or 4 miles per hour down each one of these straight shots. So all in all, going to get through this much faster. We're going to have to make several trips more because we're going to have about half the capacity that we had in the big forage wagon, but I think that this is going to be a better option for Uncle and myself going forward. Let's see. Just need to pick up just a little bit more. Must not want to throw into the trailer. That's fine. So now I'll run across the street and I'll show you the other thing that I purchased. So before, we used our other trailer as a kind of flat deck trailer as well, and we'd be able to load on bales and pallets and all sorts of stuff. Well, because it was basically doing double duty, well, we had to buy 2 trailers to replace it. So that is the other trailer that I purchased right there. So we'll just go ahead and swing this in. Oh, why is this? There it goes. And there we go. Time to get back to work. All right, we got the last little bit going up right here. Let's see. Drive this right here. And I think I get to report to Uncle that this was a complete success. And I think this baler is going to work just fine going forward for him because, like I said, this thing will do sugar beet cut. This thing will do chaff. This thing will do, our straw, our hay, TMR. I mean, we'll be able to make pretty much everything that we need into a bale form and be able to utilize it that way. So it'll work out very, very good for the farm, and one of those that when I need it, I'll be able to use it on my farm. So we leased this one. This one is just kind of hanging out for right now because we wanted to kind of get the general vibe as to whether or not it was going to actually do what we needed to do. But now it is time to get to work on the upkeep of the grass field. So I will see you over there.
Waiting for your storm to settle as I look toward the sea. Dust in your eyes like the water as the tide it consumes me. You would never save me if my walls came down. Head is underwater, you would let me drown. Watching as I suffocate. Darling, pull the trigger, honey, steal my crown. Choke me till I black out, put your hands around. Hurt out my heart, I'm guilty. She said, worship me, worship me. I control the air you breathe. Worship me. My forgiveness set you free. Worship me. I control the air you breathe. Worship me. My forgiveness sets you free. Cast your sins away to Him. Go a garden safe from murder. Fill the forest with your kin. You would never save me if my walls came down. Head is underwater, you would let me drown. Watching as I suffocate. Darling, pull the trigger, honey, steal my crown. Choke me till I black out, put your hands around. Hurt out my heart, I'm guilty. She said, worship me. I control the air you breathe. Worship me. My forgiveness sets you free. Worship me. I control the air you breathe. Worship me. My forgiveness sets you free.
All right, well, we got a ton done here today. We got the grass field harvested and we got it all turned into hay. We got it back up and running, so all we have to do now is wait for it to grow back in and it's good to go. We got this field planted and rolled with corn. We've got the small field over at our farm. That's all planted with corn. We are good to go. We're just playing the waiting game now until everything is grown and ready for harvesting. And I could not be more excited because we got everything we're going to need for TMR. And I'm thinking that grass field may get one more additional harvest out of it before all this stuff is ready to harvest out here in, I believe it's July, as a matter of fact. Let's double check. Let's see. Okay, so there's corn. Corn is going to get harvested, in October. And then the oats is going to be ready in July because I planted those last month in March. So yeah, so we're going to have those in July, but then we're going to be able to we're going to be able to plant the barley in September. So we're going to be able to do a whole bunch of stuff this coming season. I'm really, really excited for all this. And we're going to have plenty of straw from over there, plenty of chaff, which is going to turn into silage eventually, using this specific machine back here, the Scavile baler. This thing is going to work out absolutely perfectly. You know what? Unc knows what he's talking about every once in a while, and for this one, he definitely knew what he was talking about. I really like this thing, and yeah, I think we're going to be building towards actually purchasing one of these. We're leasing this one right now, but yeah, probably going to have to return it and get something in the meantime. But until that time, I think we're going to be good to go. I think we are good from here. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing to show you engage with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.